Sports must not be infected by politics. It is just about 3 months since the deadly terror attack in Pahalgam. All that post-Pahalgam anger seems to have been quietly forgotten. What has suddenly changed so quickly for the government of India to give clearance to the Indian team to play in the Asia Cup? Will the BCCI, this powerful, rich body, tomorrow be called anti-national because it has chosen to resume ties with Pakistan within cricketing ties within 6 months of Pahalgam?
The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal and do not reflect the views of any organization.
Namaskar, hello and welcome once again friends to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. This is a midweek special of Straight Bat, and I want to tell you that over the next few days there will be a lot of sound and fury over Operation Sindoor in Parliament, in both houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The government MPs will tell you how they have given Pakistan a muh-tod jawab. The opposition will tell you how Pahalgam was a complete security lapse and intelligence failure. Politicians, my friends, will be politicians. Their views are rather predictable. But what about those who run our sports bodies and who perhaps should be less tangled up in the politics of the land? My specific reference here is to the BCCI, the Board of Control for Cricket in India, cricket's richest sports body by some distance, running a sport that is religion in this country. And today I want to pose on Straight Bat a direct question. Why has the BCCI chosen so happily to agree to play the Asia Cup in September, where they will be playing Pakistan not once, not twice, but most likely on 3 separate occasions? Now let me make it clear. I have always believed that sports must not be infected by politics, or at least infected as little as possible. Maybe I am a dreamer, but being a dreamer is being better than being, dare I say, a bloody hypocrite. And that's what I'm going to expose on Straight Bat today. That's what all those who took that decision for India to play in the Asia Cup can be legitimately accused of. And let me tell you why. Remember, my friends, it is just about 3 months since the deadly terror attack in Pahalgam, in which 26 innocent Indians, including one Nepali citizen, were martyred. In the immediate aftermath of that horrific attack, there was legitimate anger building up in this country against Pakistan and Pak-sponsored terror. The Indus Water Treaty with Pakistan was put on hold. Visas were stopped. And yes, Pakistan's terror infrastructure was struck at in a 3.5-day war. Typically, it was also decided at the time, or so we thought, that we will now have no cultural ties with Pakistan until it abandons its support to terror, the Pakistani army state. Not surprisingly then, films with Pakistani stars were among the first to be targeted. So was anyone who had anything to do with our neighbor in any form. Remember how Diljit Dosanjh's movie Sardar Ji 3, featuring Pakistani actress Hania Ameer, faced a ban in India due to the rising political tensions. Then, just a week or so ago, a match being played in England between Indian and Pakistani cricket legends was called off after several Indian players said they would not play against Pakistan. A tournament of emerging women players in Asia was also called off. In TV studios, I heard the usual right-wing extremist voices talking of how there must be now a global boycott of Pakistan at all sporting levels. After all, if South Africa could be ostracized during the apartheid years, why not Pakistan at the moment. Well, guess what, my friends? All that post-Pahalgam anger seems to have been quietly forgotten as India gets ready to play Pakistan once again in the Asia Cup. It's a decision that I gather was ratified by the BCCI, but only after consulting the central government. Now, we all know who calls the shots in the BCCI even today. A certain Mr. Jai Shah, the ICC chief, is the one who's the big boss of Indian cricket. And we also know who calls the shots in the Modi-led government on these matters. A certain Home Minister, Amit Shah. Well, for some reason, Messieurs Shah and Shah have decided that the anger against Pahalgam has sufficiently dissipated for us to resume cricket.
किस सूरत से आप पाकिस्तान से क्रिकेट मैच खेलेंगे जब हम पानी नहीं दे रहे हैं 80% पानी पाकिस्तान का हम रोक रहे हैं ये कहकर के पानी और खून नहीं बहेगा आप क्रिकेट मैच खेलेंगे.
Ironically, the Modi government still claims, and it claimed it during the parliament debate time and again, that Operation Sindoor is not over. It has only been paused, that there is no let up in the war against Pakistan and Pak-based terror. So you're playing cricket or set to play cricket in September, even as you claim that Operation Sindoor is still on, only a pause button has been pressed. Which leaves me to ask the question, what has suddenly changed so quickly for the government of India to give clearance to the Indian team to play in the Asia Cup? Well, how do I put it, my friends? Very simply, it's all about the money honey. Remember, India versus Pakistan is the biggest money spinner in international cricket today. Without it, there would be little TV sponsorship, perhaps few eyeballs for an Asian Cup tournament. Commerce matters more than any real principled objection to playing with Pakistan, whose army state we claim we wish to isolate as a terror state across the world. Nor do I believe that there is any genuine sympathy for the victims of the Pahalgam terror. Truth also is, in the last few months, our diplomacy has been shown up badly. Far from isolating Pakistan in global fora, Pakistan has got IMF and ADB loans, become a co-chair on a UN committee on counter-terrorism. Its leadership, including Field Marshal Asim Munir, who many believe is at the heart of the terror network in Pakistan, has been welcomed as an honored guest at the White House for lunch. And Pakistan has even been praised by the Trump administration for being at the vanguard of regional stability and the fight against terror. In these circumstances, a question has to be asked. Should or could India have boycotted the Asia Cup? Possibly. Remember, this is not an ICC tournament. In a tournament like this, we have near total control over the Asian Cricket Council. Most members will do exactly what India wants. In fact, we even recently refused to attend an Asia Cricket Conference meeting to be held in Dhaka in Bangladesh because of political reasons, and said that we would prefer a Zoom meeting instead. And most other countries seem to accept our view. And yet, now when it comes to playing in the Asia Cup in Dubai or in the UAE, we seem to have chosen the line of least resistance and decided that we want to play against Pakistan in this tournament. What is even less surprising, my friends, is that India and Pakistan are once again placed in the same group. This has happened in every international cricket tournament now for a decade. India and Pakistan in the same group. Is that mere coincidence? Not at all. Forget about a proper draw which should be made when scheduling a global tournament. It is almost preordained, fixed, that India and Pakistan will play each other in the group stage. As I said earlier, it's all about the money, honey. Recall, I said at the very outset, I have absolutely no problem with an India versus Pakistan cricket match. I enjoy the battle on the field. So much better to fight on the cricket field with bat and ball than with weapons that can cause mass destruction. My problem, my friends, is with the self-righteous nationalistic grandstanding where anyone who calls for better relations at a people-to-people level with Pakistan is instantly branded as an Aman Ki Asha Mombatti Brigade, called anti-national and much worse. I want to ask you therefore, will the BCCI, this powerful rich body, tomorrow be called anti-national because it has chosen to resume ties with Pakistan cricketing ties within 6 months of Pahalgam? Will the government of India be called anti-national for green signalling these matches, even as in Parliament it claims that it is giving a muh-tod jawab to Pakistan? And what of our cricketers who have little choice but to simply follow the diktat that officials set? Truth, my friends, is that boycott calls are easier said than implemented. A few years ago, it was China that was under our radar post Galwan, when we banned TikTok and threatened to ban all Chinese goods and Chinese companies. Since then, guess what? Trade has grown with China and even visa restrictions for tourists have now been lifted. I have said this before, but it bears repetition. It is very easy to shout and scream in TV studios and join the hyper-nationalistic, jingoistic bandwagon. Call for bans on Pakistan and China, or Chin Pack, as I call the two countries, our two neighbors that are joined at the hip and are running military campaigns against India together. It is so much more difficult to translate all this studio rhetoric into action on the ground. So the next time there is a deadly terror attack, maybe it's best to turn down the volume and find better ways to keep the heat on Pakistan in a manner that will escalate the costs of terror. And when it comes to cricket, at least be honest enough to admit next time that the bank balance of these cricket boards matters more than human lives. As I keep saying, it's the color of money that seems to matter more than the color of Sindoor. Think about it. That was the Straight Bat. Do of course subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind, Namaskar.